Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Fred Okengo Matiangi came back into the country last week, and most Kenyans expected Matiangi to talk. So far, Matiangi has remained dead silent.
Alafu tutapata nafasi ya kuongea sisi wote pamoja. Namna hiyo. Asante sana na Mungu awabariki.
What is his strategy and what is his game plan? That is the question which is worrying both William Ruto's camp and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's camp. Because you all know that Matiangi's entry into the 2027 presidential election is going to have a huge impact on the candidature of those two gentlemen, Kalonzo Musyoka and William Samoei Arap Ruto. I had expected a lot to happen. The first thing I expected was for Matiangi to organize a very huge arrival where he was going to be received by fellow co-principals in, what is the name of that coalition? What is the name of that coalition? What is the name of that coalition? Kalonzo normally likes making reference to it. Maybe I've forgotten. Huh? That did not happen. Matiangi was just received by his close allies, maybe a senator, Senator Nyonka, nominated Senator Gloria, whom we suspect is a spy. I also expected Matiangi to organize a huge homecoming in Kisii. That has not happened. I expected Matiangi to make an appearance in a church. So far, that has not happened. And I also expected Fred Okengo Matiangi to make a big announcement about his arrival. That has not happened. And then I was sitting earlier today and I thought maybe that is a strategy, because for those who follow the politics of the Republic of Kenya very closely, last year, Fred Okengo Matiangi hired some Canadian firm to manage his PR. They were also to prospect about his candidature. The truth of the matter is that their report is out and they've told Matiangi that he has a good chance of becoming the president of the Republic of Kenya. And because of that, his silence is worrying Kalonzo and it's also worrying William Ruto, because they don't know whether that is what the Canadian firm advised him to do. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys why the silence of Matiangi is worrying both William Ruto and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's camps. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without the support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. And by the way, there's no power, so I'm actually using, I have some solar backup which I'm using. I'm not so sure whether power will be back, because sometimes it's very difficult to post these videos without Wi-Fi. Ladies and gentlemen, the entry of Fred Matiangi into the 2027 presidential elections is actually exciting Kenyans. And there is a message I received from one of our subscribers today, and the gentleman was accusing me of being biased, that I'm featuring Matiangi, I'm featuring Kalonzo, I'm featuring Omtata, I'm featuring William Ruto, Morara Kebaso, but that I'm not featuring David Maraga. The truth of the matter is that I've done videos about Maraga's candidature on this platform. In fact, my next video was going to disappoint him. Probably is going to come tomorrow. Because Eugene Wamalwa, the other day told Kenyans that William Ruto is planning to sponsor a Gen Z candidate and a Gen Z to contest. Two individuals, one appealing to the Gen Zs. And we've seen Maraga being fronted by Gen Zs. And also, Morara is also emerging. He's drifted away from Kalonzo and Rigathi Gachagwa's camp. So which means he's also likely to run. I wanted to do that video, but I thought maybe I should conduct some background checks, but I'm going to do that. But why is Kalonzo Musyoka and William Ruto worried about the candidature and the silence of Fred Okengo Matiangi. Number one is that they actually don't know what is planning. You see, we have someone who is coming back into the country, and the country is expecting a lot. Because, for example, Matiangi has been out of the country, and he has been under a lot of pressure to come back. So what would you expect that kind of a person to do on his arrival? Come, make his moves known, his plans. Probably would have told Kenyans, we are going to do this, 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 this. Now that he has not spoken, he has remained silent. These guys don't know his plan. For example, William Ruto would want to know Fred Matiangi's plan so that he can plan how to deal with him. If for example, Matiangi were to come into the country and talk about abductions, what were going to be the reaction from William Ruto's camp? How are they going to react? If you were to come and talk about corruption, were they going to start talking about the Ruto land scandal? A lot of things. For Kalonzo Musyoka, his biggest worry is Uhuru Kenyatta's support for Fred Matiangi. The day he arrived, we saw none other than Jeremiah Kioni joining, receiving him at the airport. That was the face of Uhuru Kenyatta. So Kalonzo, as an individual, must be worried. So he would have wanted to know his plans. Is he going to start joining them or what? So that's number one. Number two, they cannot craft a counter strategy without Matiangi talking. Let's take, for example, William Ruto. William Ruto cannot talk about Fred Matiangi. His allies cannot talk about Fred Matiangi. Why? Because Matiangi has not talked. He has not declared his running. He has not said, I'm joining this party. He just came, Kambia Kenyans, to Tonga Badai. So how do you start countering his strategies? And that is something which is really worrying them. And I remember the Nandi senator has been on the neck of Matiangi. When Matiangi arrived, before he arrived, bloggers, Kenya Kwanza bloggers, were actually unleashed. But he has remained silent. Counter strategy, they can't craft. For Kalonzo, I saw the deputy governor for, is it Machakos, castigating Fred Matiangi, alleging that Matiangi is a project. So if Matiangi had announced that he's running, how were the allies of Kalonzo going to react? So right now it means they can't counter his strategies. Number three, and this is mostly on the part of William Ruto, infiltration. You see, when Matiangi arrived, Senator Gloria was there. She's a known ally of the president. What was her mission there? That is the question. Was he sent to study Matiangi's strategies or what? And the fact that Matiangi has remained silent, probably he has now listened to what most Kenyans were raising, because when she received Matiangi, Kenyans were like, what is her mission? So the truth is, Matiangi can only be infiltrated if he starts activities now. So he has come back. You don't know who is meeting, nothing about him. So you can't infiltrate that team. Even knowing who is behind this bid, very difficult. And lastly, the suspense. Matiangi has left these guys in suspense. And that suspense is good and is bad for him. For example, me personally, I had expected Matiangi to arrive into the country. The design of Matiba. Remember how Matiba operated previously? That's exactly what I had expected from Matiangi. That he was going to arrive, he was going to be received in a very huge way, a huge convoy from the airport, then maybe a rally in Kamkunji or maybe wherever. Then in Kisii, the next day, a huge convoy going to receive him for prayer. Then he could be left to start his campaigns. So he has now left them in suspense. They don't know whether this guy is going to run or not. I want to ask you, do you think Fred Matiangi's strategy is good for him? Where he came, Kenyans are expecting him out there, but he's remaining silent. My personal opinion, the first thing Matiangi should do is to meet with people who he believes can help him. Because this is a guy who was a cabinet secretary for Interior. He can easily map around, create networks, then start the campaign because time is not there. The truth is, anybody who wants to win the presidency in 2027 must start today, not even tomorrow. That is the honest truth. Because this country is huge. Creating networks is a tedious task, and it's also not possible for anybody in the Republic of Kenya to just wake up one day and expect Kenyans to go and vote for him. No way. I like giving example of Babu Owino. If Babu Owino were to decide to run today, he will have a head start. I know you'll ask me why. Let me explain. Babu Owino is a former student leader, the longest serving, almost 4 years as a student leader, which means he can easily use that network of student leadership. Even the current student leaders in the country can easily associate with Babu Owino. Apart from that, in 2021, when we had COVID, Babu Owino offered free tuition, mathematics, chemistry, and biology, I think, to students, both in primary and also in high school. Most of them are now in colleges, some of them are in high school, but most of them have not acquired IDs. So he had that personal relationship with them. So these people, he can easily convert them into votes if he wanted to. So he has an advantage. And the fact that he's been with ODM, is now the most popular within ODM party. But someone like Fred Matiangi, he will have to start from somewhere. That is why he should not wait for long. He must figure how to start now. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.